to speak loudly and enunciate, and hopefully you guys might be moved with some hope for this Christmas season. I want to share with you my 14-month-long battle with a rare, aggressive form of head and neck cancer. It actually began in 2012 when I was first diagnosed with squamous cell carcinoma, originating from an ulcer on the bottom side of my right tongue. I had a partial glossectomy with a radical neck dissection on the right side, removing many lymph nodes. The path report post-surgically came back within normal limits. I healed quickly and soon returned back to normal living until last year, September 2015. Another lesion had developed under the left side of my tongue and grew with such invasion and aggression that major intensive surgery was imminent. On October 5, 2015, I underwent a left, nearly complete glossectomy. That's the removal of the tongue. And then I had another left radical neck dissection, removing all 33 lymph nodes on the left side of my face and neck. The plastic surgeon then harvested donor tissue for my left forearm, including, let me show you. It's not very pretty, but this is where they harvested, and the incision went all the way here. He harvested the donor tissue for my left forearm, including the entire radial artery and part of the cephalic vein. It was grafted and sutured to my tongue. The donor artery and vein sections were connected to my left carotid artery and internal jugular vein. I wanted to share with you this is like kind of a building up to what I had to face and how I overcame this adversity, because it was a very, very invasive and soul-wrenching case. Oh, my husband's here. Thank God. I will never forget when I woke in the ICU. The first thing I saw and will forever be remembered was my husband's face. His hands holding my head and looking into my eyes with tears and hearing him say, "I love you. Andrea, you're through surgery. You made it." And he kissed my face. Immediately, I could feel my tongue, neck, and airway swell so quickly that I started to panic. It was the scariest moment of my life. I had to learn how to breathe through the tracheostomy tube. I cried. I couldn't talk to relay my panic. Luckily, Kent recognized that all my drainage tubes needed to be hooked up to suction. The first night in the ICU was one of the most horrible, painful, helpless, and soul-wrenching moments of my life. Time stood still. It was the longest night of my life. I was alone, and when the monitor started alerting, I could barely move my head, but I could strain enough to see the monitor screen and seeing my blood pressure soar to 220/180. The pulse monitor from the wire embedded inside my tongue graft, leading out from beneath my clavicle, had gone silent. It scared me to death. It sounded just like a fetal heart monitor, so you can hear that heartbeat. And that was reassuring to me that graft was there and it's okay, it's doing well, and it's taking. It was very important to make sure the graft sat in circulating blood flow. All I could do was stare at the ceiling, cry, and pray. I prayed so hard for God to help me calm myself down. No one was there. The nurses were on break, so I had no one to help me. I knew I had to find a way to calm down or I was going to die. In the middle of staring at the white ceiling tiles and praying for Jesus to show me He is there, you give me some kind of sign. Just then, through my teary eyes, I saw angels. The patterns on the tiles seemed to turn fluid-like, and I saw small cherub angels floating around. They were smiling and were glowing with such happiness. It moved my soul so deeply that tears flowed incessantly, and my heart smiled with such gladness that I was, without a doubt, surrounded by angels. God showed me his love for me. It was astounding. My vital signs began to be back to normal, and the audio from the graph monitor slowly began pounding out a pulse again. I finally left the hospital 8 days later, which began my year-long roller coaster of radiation, CT scans with terminal prognoses, another neck dissection in May with the thyroidectomy, removal of the remaining lymph nodes and several strap muscles in my neck. I was re-scanned in August at the end of chemo, and it showed several new tumors throughout my neck and a plum-sized mass behind my heart and my spine and in my right lung. Several times this year, Kent and Madison had to go through the heartbreaking sadness that I was truly soon to die. The past year was full of the realization of my own mortality. It was so hard to have constant awareness that I was certainly soon to die. But I never lost faith in God. It was like I spent the whole year looking down the barrel of a loaded gun. I had to write a rough draft of my last will and testament, and I wrote a list of potential pallbearers. That was just a story. I wanted to give you that background before I share with you my testimony I posted on social media. Some of you might have read it on Facebook, but I want to share that with you. It's Monday, November 28, 2016. Write this date down. If you have never believed in miracles, I give you my story. I wasn't expected to make it to Christmas. The cancer was so far advanced in my neck and lungs in August, the prognosis was grim. I was supposed to lose all function of speech and swallowing. I was supposed to be only breathing via tracheostomy by the end of September. We prayed and prayed all summer for our insurance company to overturn their 3-time denial for proton radiation. It was perfect denial. I was very angry at the time and asked God, why won't these people help me? But it was denied for good reason. The FDA had just approved Keytruda, an immunotherapy drug, 2 days before my first infusion on August 26. My doctor went to bat for me and got me approved immediately for treatment. I received infusion doses in 3-week intervals ending January 17. I have been feeling better and better each week since the beginning of treatment. Throughout the past year, my prayers have gone from why to please let me live for my family's sake. I realized not too long ago that I was praying selfishly. I had finally found resolve to give all my worries to God. My prayers have evolved into contented trust and thanksgiving, but I also have been asking God for a miracle. One little miracle for me through which his glory might be seen. Did you believe in miracles? Did you believe in answered prayer? I have many friends who are not religious. I love you still, always will. I hope that maybe people who have questioned faith can see through me that God truly exists. I hope to do great things for people who wish to be inspired or who are doubtful or question their spirituality. Please accept my deepest thanks for your prayers and well wishes. I love every one of you. And now I want to say thank you, especially to you, my church family. This is a total team victory. God heard your prayers, and I am humbled by his favor to me. Thank you, Mother Nancy. Where did you go? Thank you, Mother Nancy, for visiting me in the hospital and being there for me to help me through my lowest lows. Thank you to my child, Madison, for helping me through this battle. You wrote on the fridge, 2016 is only a test. You never doubted I was going to be okay, and seeing that confidence in your eyes gave me hope through the fire. To my husband, Kent, you went through a living hell with me. You carried the burden of sadness for so long. We had so many ups and downs this past year. Your strength pulled me out of the darkness so many times. You took me to the movies on Thursdays to give me some sort of normalcy, to show me I should still live and feel alive while I can. You held me. You cried for me. My heart and soul is so happy to have you as my husband. You fought with me and we've won this together. I have so much to give back to people now that I have been given this gift of new life. I hope that you all know how much God loves us. We are never alone and we are never out of the fight. Thank you.